Guten Tag, my babies. It's your girl T, and today's Makeup Monday is a little different. It's gonna be not vlog style because I don't do no damn vlogs. Today I'm actually going to get my eyebrows touched up with microblading. It's been 6 months, a little bit more than 6 months since I got my last touch up, and I got microbladed for the first time in May of 2017. At my last touch up, my microblade artist suggested coming every 6 months because I do like to keep my brows looking, I mean, they actually lasted pretty well considering I waited a whole year, but I would like to have my eyebrows as fresh and have the pigment as, you know, bold as it can be in the interim. I know plenty of people have done videos on microblading, and I had a couple requests to do videos on my microblading experience. The issue is usually 1 or 2 people will ask for something, but they're the only 1 or 2 people who actually want to see that video, and it ends up not being worth my time. But beyond the microblading, I'm also going to be doing my hair today. I'm doing a protective style. I'm going to try these so-called passion twists. Y'all seen them already. I'm going to do a proper video on that experience, but I'll give you guys a little sneaky peek at least. But I think the microblading will be a pretty solid Makeup Monday indeed. I just got back in from walking the dogs. If you guys have been watching my last couple of live streams, you know that I'm dog sitting right now. So I've got Ray Ray and I've also got Sir Bentley. His first night here was rough. He was so frightened that he wouldn't even come out of his little carrier. I didn't want to let him stay in there indefinitely. So what I did was I essentially had to like dump him out of the carrier. I had to like tip it forward to slide him out because he wouldn't have come out of there, I don't think. But then after doing that, I just let him have his space because he was trying to bite me and stuff if I actually reached in to try to take him out of it. So I ended up sliding him out of his little carrier thing and also closing the door to his crate so he couldn't go in there instead. And then he was forced to just kind of be out in the open. He stayed in his little bed across the room. I just let him be, and Ray Ray was like, this dude clearly doesn't want to play. So she let him be as well. And he started warming up a bit after we went for a walk together a little bit later that night. And then by the next morning, when I went to wake him up and take him out of his crate and everything to start the day, he was wagging his tail, so that was good. And then by the end of that day, he was completely up my ass and wouldn't leave me alone. And now he's so much more happy and comfortable. And I'm so happy now because, you know, I just didn't want him. He's had a lot of instability and disorder in his life in the past 2 months or so, which I'm not going to bother getting into because it's not super duper interesting or pertinent, but he hasn't really had the most stable home life. He's kind of switched to new owners and it's a whole long story. So I just want to make sure he's as happy and comfortable as he can possibly be while he's with us, because, you know, he's just a little guy and it's not easy being little. My place is a bit of a wreck right now because I got my mat down here where I do my little exercises to try to help get my back under control, and some medicine, or a medicine ball and then a playground ball that I also use for that. There's Bentley's crate over there with his bed. And here's Sir Bentley. And Ray Ray, of course. Hi, Ray Ray. There's Bentley playing with one of Ray Ray's toys. She's been getting very territorial and jealous. Even now she's trying to lick my hand as I'm holding this camera down low. I think she's feeling a bit insecure because she doesn't realize that he's not here to stay and she feels like her home life is in upheaval. But here's Bentley. He's a little guy. I mean, Ray Ray's only about 14 pounds and he's quite a bit smaller than her. I would guess he's under 10. Ray Ray, since when do you even want to be on camera? Knock it off. But yeah, now he's actually playing with Ray Ray and it's been really good. He's had such a quick and drastic improvement in terms of his demeanor and everything after that first night. So I'm really happy. Anyway, that's my morning so far. I'm about to do my oil pulling and then I've got my microblading appointment a bit later. So I'll make sure I give you guys a good clear shot of my brows, and that way we can have a good before and after. I think I'll do it in my bathroom. So let's grab the before right now, shall we? The lighting in here is not the best, but here is my before. As I said, it's only been 6 months, so they still look pretty good in my opinion. I'm still able to catfish people and pretend that I have 2 full eyebrows when I definitely don't. This one basically stops right here, and the rest of this is all tattoo for the most part. I have maybe 2 eyebrow hairs from this point onward. But I've been very happy with having microbladed eyebrows because I feel like it completely has changed my appearance in a way that makes me feel more comfortable when I don't have makeup on, which is most of the time, so I'm happy about that. And of course, you guys will see the after I get it done. I'll see if I can grab some footage while we are in the room. I might even bring my little tripod and just set that up. I don't know. For Makeup Monday, you know, we're doing our best. We're doing a microblading touch-up experience today, because this is a big part of my makeup, is actually having eyebrows on my face. And she was able to give me the shape that I prefer to what my natural shape is. My natural shape is really dumb. It goes like straight out and then straight down. It's like this. It's super angular and I hate it. But she, as you can see, gives me more of a gentle slope, which I much prefer. So I've been really happy with the microblading. It was a great decision for me. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with my oil pulling and probably do some more prepping of the hair for my passion twist, because you do have to prep the hair. And then I will check in with you guys a little bit later. I have just arrived at the mini mall where my microblading place is. Hopefully they'll let me film in there, and if not, then I guess I'll just see you guys right back in this car again shortly. All right, here comes the awkward intro part. This is Callie, my microblading artist. And her dog Fiction is here too. Fiction! Oh, he's ready for his close-up. Right? Callie, we were just talking, I was saying how they look their absolute best the day you get them done, because you can see each individual stroke, and as they heal, those strokes will spread a bit and it'll be more of kind of a diffuse effect, and they'll fade. So if you do get microblading, don't be alarmed by the darkness, because it's not going to stay that way. And we want to go a little darker. What about thickness? How you feeling on that? I would be down for a little thicker too. Right, because now we've seen they also kind of shrink. Yeah, they do. So let's make a little correction there. We'll kind of over fluff a tiny bit, so when they heal, they're right where we want them. Right now we're doing what's called face mapping or brow mapping, depending on who you ask. Okay. But essentially we're just going through and we're measuring out your eyebrow, your face shape. So we give you the brow that's most appropriate for you. Yeah. Never use a stencil or anything like that, because guess what? Not everybody looks alike, so why would their eyebrows, right? Yeah, not to mention your eyebrows aren't going to be exactly the same anyway. Exactly. I like to get them close, but... Sisters, not twins, as that saying goes. Exactly. But my natural brows are like distant relatives. Right? I'm not even sure they've ever met. That's what we don't want to have. Yeah. So we'll get them as close as we can. It's really interesting how my brow tastes have changed as well since getting the microblading, because for one, the microblading gave me the shape that I always wanted but never had, because my brows are sort of like angular at the arch and not that nice kind of like slope that you've given me. Totally. And I've also noticed that now I like them like deeper than they were naturally, because I've gotten more kind of used to seeing myself with actual eyebrows rather than what I had naturally. So I like a darker brow. I just want to be Cara Delevingne, basically. Right? Don't we all? Yeah. And that's what most people say. And I even had the same experience with my eyebrows and getting microblading. But I always joke, everybody comes back and they want to go darker and bigger. And I'm happy to do it. That's totally fine. Like I said, it's always nice to wean in. We can always add more. Yeah. It's a little bit harder to take away. Exactly. But I will say about 99% of people are like, more, more, more. So it's just that small adjustment period of seeing them. All right, so we've mapped out the shape, and we were just talking about like making sure we have everything going in the direction I want. It looks pretty good to me. Do not be alarmed by the thickness. As we said earlier, they will shrink. Yes. And I trust and believe these are gonna look bomb once she's actually done, because they look amazing on day one.
Absolutely. And right now what we have is the outline of the eyebrow. So nothing's going to exceed the white lines.
Exactly.
Everything is like nice, soft, fluffy hair strokes filled in.
Yeah, so nothing will be beyond that border. Alrighty, so I think it's time to start cutting into my face, right?
Yay!
And I think the weirdest thing is just that you can hear it as well, because I wasn't expecting that the first time I got it done. You can actually hear the strokes, which is a little funny. It sort of sounds like a tiny little zipper being unzipped.
Yes, that's a great description. But you know what we need first? We need to let you numb. Yes, perfect. So I am going to mark you with a purple surgical pen. And this is just gonna help me follow our design the entire time. As soon as I get these marks on ya, I'm gonna apply that lidocaine and we'll let that sit for about 10 to 15 minutes.
All right.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna apply a little bit of saran wrap over that just to keep it nice and airtight.
Okay.
Beautiful. Now we let you bake. You got about 10-15, and then we will start microblading.
All right. Am I pretty yet? All right, here we go.
Here we go. I'm gonna start on this right side.
So I was telling you guys earlier, last time I waited a whole year and Callie recommended coming every 6 months. So this time I'm back sooner than my last touch-up, which is good because with oily skin, it tends to fade faster anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you go even more often than 6 months, right, for your own?
I do. I'm definitely very excessive with it. I'm not gonna lie. Love me some brows.
Yeah.
So I go probably about every 6 months or maybe 5 at the most. I think just when you work in an environment with a bunch of people seeing great brows all day, you gotta really keep up on yours, right?
Yeah. And have you found that over time, as you've had more and more touch-ups, that it lasts better in between touch-ups, just like accumulatively?
Absolutely. It's kind of like adding layers on layers on layers.
Yeah.
So then that way, it's also nice so they're all fading at different times. So you almost get a more three-dimensional, more layered look.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. So that's another reason if you do have more sparse brows or skin that doesn't retain pigment as well, or you just really want that nice, bold, full eyebrow, I highly recommend that you're gonna wanna come in a little bit more often, especially in the beginning, to really build those brows up. And then you can kind of chill out because they will hold better after building that pigment on top of itself.
That makes sense. So we've just wiped off the pigment and now we're putting on more numbing cream, right?
Exactly.
Which is good because my eyes are watering because I'm a big stupid baby.
Okay. You're doing amazing.
It smarts, but my eyes are watery, like my eyes even water at the dentist from the light, so.
T, do you want me to clean up your little hairs outside of the design?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't plucked in a couple of weeks probably.
Yes, and I always ask before you come in, leave them be, because sometimes there's a hair that you pluck or that your waxer or your threader might remove. And we want as much hair on there because normally we can kind of incorporate it into the microblading. The more hair that's there, typically the more it helps kind of disguise the tattooing.
Yeah.
So typically your artist should always kind of clean up your brows for you.
Alrighty, pass number 2.
Going in. So we typically do anywhere from, I like to say about 3 to 4 passes. That really layers the hair strokes. So then we're not just jamming a bunch of them in there at once. We're kind of slowly building. Gives a much more natural look to the brow.
Now, last time I remember you did shading at the end. What is that?
We did. So shading is a different form of manual tattooing. So with microblading, the best way I can describe it, we're more like slicing, right? We're adding each little individual hair strokes. Shading is for when we need to add a little bit more coverage, so it's not just little hair strokes. Like on your tails where we're real sparse, we needed it to look more dense, so we didn't have this weird transition of dense hair and microblading to like a couple little thin hair strokes. So shading basically creates a little bit of that shade, or that like kind of almost powder brow, also known as. But we just do it on the surface of the skin. It's still all manual. It's not done with a machine. And it just creates a little bit more fullness and denseness to the brow.
Okay. I like those.
Yeah, so shading is a great option for people that typically have more sparse brows, or they have areas of their brows that are more sparse. It creates more of a nice smooth transition from the natural brow into the hair strokes.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is he the office dog? I don't know.
Alright, this is immediately after. I am obsessed. They look the best they've ever looked. They're red from obviously just being done, and my eyes are watery because, like I said, I'm a big stupid baby, but look how good these look. They're thicker, the strokes look amazing, and now we just have to get me a little bit of healing cream. We do a dry heal. Actually, let me get you a hair count.
Yes, yes.
So she recommends a dry heal, so talk a little bit about that.
Totally, and the reason that we like to go with more of a dry heal approach is because each of the hair strokes, they start out as like these nice thin little individual hair strokes. As T was explaining, they do expand a little bit, so we want to try to control that expansion as much as we can, and by doing that, by keeping moisture off the brows and keeping them nice and dry, it's going to give you a nice crisp, clean hair stroke, so they stay a little bit more tight and nice, and they last a little bit longer, especially when you do have more oily skin. You definitely want to go with more of a dry heal approach.
Which I definitely do. I'm an oily gal.
Yes, I feel you on that one.
Alright, but I'm obviously going to link her Instagram right here and in the description box, but she is the only person I trust with my brows, so if you guys are in the LA area, hit her up.
Yay, thank you.
Y'all, I am in the best mood. I'm so excited about how my brows turned out. They're going to get darker over the next week. The last time around when my brows darkened, which always happens when you get microblading, you look like you have Sharpie brows for a couple days. I actually really liked the look because I think over the past couple of years, I've just really grown to love a darker brow on me. I feel like it makes me look younger, and in my ripe old age. I can use all the help I can get. Oh, they call me. But you guys just saw the pastry case at Porto's. Porto's is a Cuban bakery. There's a couple locations here in LA, and if you ever come to LA, you have to go. They're so good. I don't really do the pastries that much. Sometimes I do, but what I really love are the more savory stuff, which you guys saw at the end there. In that little case, they have like meat pies and potato balls, which is probably what they're most famous for, which is basically seasoned meat, or you can get cheese and like peppers surrounded by mashed potatoes, coated in like a little crispy coating of some kind, and then deep fried. I don't know how the fuck you make these things, but they're so good. I know I'm gonna be doing my hair later, and I just don't want to be in a grumpy mood, so I feel like it was a wise decision for me to break my fast earlier today. It's about 12:30, so I'm breaking my fast early so that I won't be hungry while I'm doing my hair, because I hate doing my hair. So I'm drinking a chai that I just got at Porto's. I'm gonna head home, and we're gonna try to do these passion twists. I'm not trying to do a whole bunch. I'm gonna do them bigger than what I've seen done by the boho babe who coined the name passion twists, and we'll go from there. I'm also a little nervous because I wanted purple hair, but they don't make this hair in an ombre purple, so we're gonna see how it looks. I'm probably going to be looking fairly ratchet for the duration of this style being in my head. Y'all, I'm still not home. I forgot I don't want to do all purple. I do have 2 packs of number 2 in case I want to do more of a mix of the purple and number 2 in the front, so it's a little bit less ratchet looking. I'll have to see. But I forgot I wanted to get some 99J to mix in with the purple, just so it has a little bit more dimension. And I'm having a real hard time finding it. I've already been to 3 beauty supply stores. Ain't nobody got no damn free tress at all in at least 2 or 3 cases. They're just like, we don't carry free tress. I said, huh? And then the last place I went to did have free tress. They only had a 1B. And another place I went to had free tress, but they only had kind of normal colors except for like gray. So I'm gonna try one more place. If they don't have it here, I think I'm calling it, because I'm tired of driving around the hood. I'm ready to go home to the dogs and get started on this project. You know you're in the hood when there's tumbleweed just on the ground. Success! To be honest with you guys, I knew I should have come to this store in the first place because it's the biggest beauty supply store that I know of out here in LA. But it's not super convenient for me. It's not close to me. And I just didn't feel like driving all the way out here if I could find it closer. And I ended up just wasting more time going to stores that I knew probably wouldn't have what I needed in the first place. I'm gonna make sure I get home and get to work. Hey guys, thanks for the welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed this Makeup Monday. It was a little bit different. I really just wanted to show you guys what it's like to actually get microbladed. I will confess it hurt more than I remember. My eyes were pretty teared up by the end there, but I have watery eyes anyway, like I was saying while I was there. But now it is time for me to dig into my Porto's. This is one of those potato balls I was telling you about. I got 2 potato balls and a meat pie. Just so you guys can see, this is one of the cheese potato balls, which I've never tried before. This is one of the regular potato balls, which I've had myriad times. And then this is the meat pie. This is basically the Cuban version of a beef patty. It's got like a flaky, almost croissant-like coating, and then you can see the meat in there that's cooked with like spices and peppers and stuff. The potato balls are just so unique, and they're cheap. They're like, I remember they used to be under $1 each. Now I think they're just over $1, but I've been living in LA a long time and I've been eating these potato balls a long time. So here you can kind of see the meat in the middle, the mashed potato, and then it's got the crispy crust on the outside. Love these things. Hey guys, it's T from 2 days later. I am on day 3. I got my brows done on Wednesday. Today is Friday. And I am planning to edit the video that you're watching right now today, but I wanted to pop in and let you guys see what my brows are looking like 2 days into healing. So you can see they've gotten quite a bit darker. I've definitely got the Scouse brow look going on. I look a bit like Uncle Leo from that episode of Seinfeld where he's got the Sharpie brows. But this is how they're looking. I think the shape and size is great. I'm really, really happy with them. I can't wait to see how they heal. In terms of aftercare, I'm not really gonna go into specifics because if you do decide to get your brows microbladed, your microblade artist will have his or her own recommendations and aftercare protocols, so definitely defer to that. The first time I got them done and they got super dark like this, it was very alarming, but now I'm pretty much used to it. So I don't really even mind how it looks right now and it's super dark. And oddly enough, I've gotten the most compliments from men on my eyebrows in my life when they're at this phase. Like each time I've gotten my eyebrows microbladed, I get compliments from men like, you've got really amazing eyebrows. And I'm like, But that's it, and excuse my headscarf. I'm just at home. I'm gonna be editing videos for Vlogmas today. So I'm gonna be editing this one and hopefully I'll be able to get another one done. Ray, do you wanna do the sign off? You wanna help her with it, Bentley? Well, the dogs say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in for another day of Vlogmas. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.